Kris Shaw. I'm so excited to talk to you about your art, especially considering I own some of your art, or at least one piece. It is hanging up in my kitchen, and I'm so excited about it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes. So, how long have you been doing art, or your paintings?
Well, I actually got started in art back in 1994 or 95 when I went to Lebec Community College and just kind of took an art class because I wasn't sure what I wanted to be yet. Anyway, really enjoyed my teacher there. His name was John Ford. And he was just such an excellent art teacher, and it really got me fascinated with it. And that's when I started painting.
Oh, really? So did you have any experience before that? Or were you
No.
just now introduced to it in college? That's surprising.
Yeah, that was my first time being introduced to it. So
Wow. Well, that's awesome. So when did you first realize that this would be a career? This wouldn't be just a hobby.
honestly, I always kind of knew that that's what my niche was going to be. Now where I was going to go with it long term, I was unsure at the time, but I just knew that's what I wanted to at least dabble in.
Hmm. So what's your main focus? So I know you do a lot of paint splatters, but what really inspires you to make the creations that you do?
Honestly, I just absolutely love color. And also, I'm obsessed with impasto painting. And that's the technique of putting on really thick strokes, layered in different ways. One of my favorite tools for painting is not a paintbrush. It's actually a palette knife and a putty knife.
That's awesome.
Those are actually my two favorite things to paint
Yeah.
with. And you can get a lot of different lines and just texture by using these tools. So
Awesome.
that was something actually taught to me by my art teacher back at LCC. Was he always said, it's not necessary to have a paintbrush. There are lots of different tools around you if you just kind of think about how you want to
Yeah.
create certain things. So anyway, I got that from him.
That's really cool. I love the thickness and I love the texture style of your art. So what's been your favorite piece that you've ever made? Have you had one? Have you just been this is it? This is my sending off artist wise.
It's hard to pick one. I always find by the time that I get done with each piece, I love it so much. And I've usually put in so much effort and work into it that there's love with every single piece that I do. One that stands out though is Meadowlark, and it's actually at my husband's office here in town. So Meadowlark is the state bird for Kansas. So
Yeah.
I really get a lot of satisfaction whenever I get to send it off with somebody, if someone who purchases it or if I gift it to somebody. That means a lot to me when they get to enjoy it themselves. So I'm usually always okay with parting ways with it just because I know that it's going to be loved by somebody else.
Yeah.
And it makes room for me to keep painting.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's in your future? Do you have any future projects that you're working on that you're really excited about or anything like that?
Actually, right now I'm really excited about that my fine art for small spaces, and they're basically little 3-inch by 3-inch paintings that I've made. And they come with an easel, a little tiny miniature easel. And the reason why I came up with this idea was because a lot of my pieces are the 4 foot by 5 foot paintings, and so many people don't have that amount of wall space. So I've heard a lot of people tell me, I really love your paintings, but I would need something smaller. And just out of nowhere, I just kind of thought of these little canvases and the easels, and I was thinking, well, everybody has a small space.
Oh yeah.
And most people like fine art. So, whether or not it's at a desk or in a dorm room or in your
Oh, that's
kitchen or
awesome.
just anywhere that you have a little small space, you can get yourself fine art. So,
Oh, that's so
anyway, that's my little thing that I'm doing right now.
I love that. I absolutely like love that. How did you get that idea?
Actually, I just kept thinking, I need to be working smaller. And so it seems like either I go large, and then I was like, well, I wonder how I can do what I like to do on large canvases in a compact size. So it was more of like a challenge for myself that I wanted to see if I could do anything with it. And just out of nowhere, I thought of the Fine Art for Small Spaces little logo,
Yeah.
and just thought it was kind of catchy.
So this is called
This
Kansas Wheat.
Kansas wheat. So that's a Kansas wheat field,
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of the Fine Art for Small Spaces that I was telling you about. And then I also have a little bit more of an abstract one here.
Oh,
And there's a lot of different lines and stuff in it. And of course, I'd used my trusty palette knife.
I think that's so crazy that you can do that on such a small
Yeah,
area. Like,
it's a fun challenge. It is. And I have a love-hate relationship when I paint, and it's something that I go through with every single painting. But I know now that I'm gonna hate it before I love it. So, and then here's a fun, colorful one. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll pick a color and I'll put the paint out and I will dip it
okay.
in the paint. And then from there, depending on where it lands, I'll just work with it with like the palette knife.
Okay. So you kind of like visualize it after it's already kind of like started.
I do. I do. So instead of having like an end result in my head, it's more of where can I take it?
So like what would you say is your like for anyone else who's an artist or like aspiring to be an artist or like things that they can't make it as an artist, like what's your quote or what's like your like opinion or
I
like
just I just think that, if it's something that you enjoy, if you enjoy it, keep working on it, keep doing it. And then when you need to, put it down, walk away, and maybe the next day go back to it.
hmm I feel like with everyone that I've interviewed, that has been like the main thing. It's just like just do it, just go for it, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's a hobby. But if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If I say go for it, if it makes you happy, do it.
That's like, so great. Thank you so much, Kris, for like meeting
Thank
me
you.
tonight. I know you're
Thank
out of
you.
Wichita, so we very much appreciate you entering our Southeast Kansas Community Art Walk. Though you did go to Labette Community College, so that's very
Yes,
exciting for us.
I did. I did. So
And it seems like you took a lot out of the art program there.
I did. John Ford was an excellent art teacher, took quite a few classes from him. And anyway, I definitely owe him a thank you for everything he taught me.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.